Okay, alright guys, it's Max RCAZ here. Um, I wanted to start a new series like I mentioned in my channel update talking about roller coasters because it's a big part of my life, and especially now, and I wanted to do a top 10 of sorts, but this isn't going to be a top 10. So over here I have all the maps of all the parks I've been to that have this certain type of coaster. I'm going to do ranking all the wooden coasters that I have on my list, that I have ridden myself. So I've ridden a total of 9, and I'm going to be ranking these 9. So let's get started. So number 9 is going to be at Great America, and it's right there. It's the Little Dipper. The Little Dipper is an old wooden coaster from this place called Kittyland, and they brought it over to Great America. It's a kiddie coaster. It was one of my first coasters, and it was really influential. I used to be scared of it a couple years ago, but now I've grown a bit, and I can finally ride a lot of these better ones. So yeah, Little Dipper's at number 9. And then at number 8 is also at the same park, and that is the American Eagle. The American Eagle is, in my opinion, people say it's a really good ride. It's just gotten way too rough. It's not as good as it used to be. It's not particularly my favorite wooden coaster at the park. I'll just ride it because it never has a line. But yeah, there's American Eagle. And then number 7 is at a park I recently visited, which is Cedar Point, for the first time, and that's their oldest coaster, which is Blue Streak, which is right along here. Now, Blue Streak I rode in the rain because the park was about to close up due to the weather, but they still had Blue Streak open. And I heard from a couple YouTubers that it wasn't that bad, but it was rough, but it was still fun. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was a fun ride. And then number 6 is a coaster I haven't ridden in 2 years, and that's a coaster at Lagoon, which is a park in Utah. And this coaster was one of my first coasters again. And it's a really old ride, but it had a bunch of airtime. It was really good. Just not enough to crack higher up on the list. Now, on to my top 5. Number 5, we'll be heading over to Kings Island, which is another park in Ohio. And that's this wooden coaster right here, the Beast. Now, people say this is one of the best wooden coasters ever. It's really long. Almost 4 minutes of ride time. But I was particularly underwhelmed on the ride. It was not as good as I anticipated. It was okay, not a lot of airtime. The tunnels were really fun though. Yeah, so that's at number 5. Number 4 is at Six Flags Over Georgia. It's the only wooden coaster I got to ride there, and that's the Great American Scream Machine. I thought this ride was going to be really bumpy, but no, it was actually really fun. A lot of airtime. And then towards the end there, when you're getting to the brake run to go back into the station, there's this part where it feels like if you have your hands up, your hands will get cut off because you'll get hit by the top of the station. It was really fun. I thought this coaster was awesome. Okay, now to my top 3. I know this coaster is really hated. That you can't really see it on the glare. That's Mean Streak at Cedar Point. This just closed a couple weeks ago, and I got to ride it like 2-3 weeks before it closed. It was a little bumpy, like people said it would be, but I thought it was pretty fun. I only rode it once, and it was in the front row. And it was bumpy, but I thought it was really good. It was really long, and I do hope it gets the RMC treatment in the future. Number 2 and number 1 are both at my home park at Great America. This is a coaster I think is very underrated, and that's a Viper. Now there's a YouTuber that was really scared to go on this ride. A couple of my friends were really scared to go on this ride, me particularly, but this ride is amazing. It's underrated. It's a wooden coaster that people should talk about more often. And it's just amazing. It has a bunch of airtime. You just have to pick the right seat, though, because it's gotten a bit bumpy. And then number 1 is obviously Goliath, which is amazing. The drop is insane. The inversions are amazing. Yeah, this ride is really special. It was my 25th roller coaster, and it was my number 1 for a while until Maverick and Millennium Force and a couple others beat it. But it's still my favorite wooden coaster. So yeah, that's going to be the video. I'm going to wrap this up, and please like and subscribe. More if you like this, more will come. So yeah, this is going to be a new segment on the show. Alright, I'm out.